All right, people, we're back. Welcome to another episode of Everything is Everything. I am your host, Stephon. This is my co-host.
It's your boy Jiggy.
And we thank you all again for tuning in, for being a part of this journey that we've been on. This is going to be episode 8, right?
Yeah.
Bro, we're 2 months into doing this, dog.
Yeah.
Consistency. Y'all, please like, subscribe, comment. YouTube got a new hype feature, but I don't be seeing the hype feature on our video. I don't know if there's something we gotta like enable or anything like that.
Yeah.
But hype the video up, share the video. We appreciate all the engagement, the support, the viewership. Like, it really means a lot. Like, when you're starting something like this and, you know, building something from the ground up, every bit of interaction, every bit of support goes a long way. So we just want to thank you all, the audience, for tuning in, and we're looking forward to giving you guys another great episode with some more thought-provoking topics today. It wasn't too much of a busy news week, but there was some unfortunate news this week with a neo-soul R&B legend, D'Angelo, who passed away at the age of 51. I encourage everybody to go check out his music if you're not familiar with him. Maybe if you're a younger audience member and you might have heard the ruckus around his death and the outreach of love and support, and we want to send love, prayers, and condolences to his family. I heard that the mother of his kids, or maybe it was even one of his, passed away as well earlier this year, so we just want to extend our grace and thoughts and well wishes to her as well, because losing 2 parents within a calendar year is, I can't even imagine. So from here at Everything's Everything, rest in peace, D'Angelo. Thank you for all the music, all the soul you put into the world, and you were one of the best examples when people talk about a pure artist and a musical genius, and we thank you for everything that you've contributed in the world. With that being said, bro,
Wait, don't go too far. I just want to say, bro, those are some powerful words. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
D'Angelo definitely meant, a lot to the world. I'm just trying to figure out, when did you listen to D'Angelo?
oh my,
old are you?
me. Well, if the audience has to know, I was born in 1991. Mid-1991, June.
Was you
Gemini,
9 listening to him?
Bro, yeah, bro. I listen to a lot of older music, bro. I listen to a lot of music during my time, before my time.
What, you talking to 30 years old when you're 9?
Listen, man, bro. You see, everyone's seen the video, that the famous, one of his most famous videos. Like, I'm a BT baby, bro.
Yeah, I seen it by accident.
Bro,
106 in Park.
Yeah, but you watch it. I watched 106 Park like every day when I was a kid, bro. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've seen it. You had to have come across his music some way, somehow. And I think that is such a great, I'm glad you actually asked that question, bro, because this week I was really just pondering, bro, like, so many things in the world today aren't really what they were in yesteryear. You know what I mean? And I was just wondering, like, why does it feel like the quality of so many things seem to just be doing this? Like, we got AI, we got all these technological advancements. Like, we don't got to listen to the radio anymore. We got Bluetooth, but somehow I feel like, whether it be in music, sometimes it's like in food, sometimes it's in sports, it feels like there was a moment where things pivoted. Even with parties, like, I was having this talk earlier today, but parties now aren't really what parties were 10, 15 years ago. Like, parties now, no one's really partying. Like, most people are just flexing. Like, you're going to show your outfit, your chain, your jewelry, your dress, your heels, your bottles, you know what I'm saying? Your people washing, you want to be in a section. Like, you don't really have those moments where you walk into a party and it's like everybody's just like in euphoria, having a good time. You're meeting and talking to new people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so segmented off. And I want to ask the question, like, who dictates this? Is it the consumer or is it the market? Because my personal theory is they've dumped down a lot of things in life and kind of taught the consumer just to accept it. and we don't really have a like a standard created of our own fruition anymore. It's more like, well, that's just kind of how things are. But I'm like, but does it have to stay that way? Like, do we have the power to actually demand a higher quality for anything in this life? And we can kind of go step by step, whether it be music, whether it be in sports. We had a sports topic on one of these episodes where we were talking about the commissioner and how he was just like, well, if you can't afford the streaming services, go watch the highlights. It's like, my guy, no, that's not how that should work. Like, the quality of basketball shouldn't be affected because you want to, put streaming rights all over the place. The fans' experience shouldn't be affected by that. In music, there's so much in music where I heard a report that like MTV is not even a thing anymore. Like, it's officially like not MTV anymore. Like, it still exists, but it's not being called that. I don't know what it's being called now. You guys, if you find out in the comment section, if you can put that in there and give us even some little more details on that, where it's like, okay, so like in music, we don't get really fly music videos that often. Like, that used to be like a standard. Like, for your single to be pushed, the music video used to be a thing. You know what I mean? We've gotten a few here and there, and you can run to YouTube and catch a dope music video here and there, but there's no longer that thing where it's like that is the standard and the expectations. Like, the artistry got to match the visual. So I just wanted to ask your opinion on it, bro, and what you feel. Is there anything in your life, whether big or small, that it's like, what, the quality did dip? And I don't know why people aren't outraged by this.
Honestly, bro, to be honest with you, I just feel like right now, I'm, and a lot of people, who've grown from different experiences and things like that, I'm in a different mental space.
Right.
So certain things that were pleasure to me before is not going to be the same now.
Cool.
So things that were enjoyment. Before, like, I went to the store today, bro. I looked at some candy. I was like, yo, man, I want this candy. I looked at it. I was just like, if I eat that candy, it's not going to be the same enjoyment as what I think it is or how I felt when I was younger. So I do take that into consideration when I'm thinking about things of that nature. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One thing, to get to one of the points that you were saying, I do definitely feel like the consumer is controlled by the market. Right. And it's funny because usually the consumer dictates the market. Right.
And it's flipped.
And it's kind of flipped, correct. It's flipped. So it's like, for instance, YouTube, right? And just to give an example of what I'm saying, you have something like YouTube where you'll have everybody, that's the market where people can go there and do whatever they want. You feel like you can do whatever you want.
Right.
There's guidelines. There's things you have to do. You have to abide by these things or you can't post that video.
Right.
In networks, as far as let's say if me and you just wanted to have just TV, we would, in order to have that on a TV, right, we would have to find somebody that would want to market what we have. You get what I'm saying? So the consumer's more controlled by the market. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, and going back to the other thing you were saying, bro, things are, how can I say it? The kids, as far as kids partying, like, you know what I mean, and doing the things and it's going to flash, I'm not going to lie to you. I do think it's a little different now, but I think they still partying, bro. I just don't think we go to those parties.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, people are still out. Like, I don't want to make it sound as if like, oh my God, people stop partying. I'm talking about like in the way we've come to enjoy parties. You know what I mean?
But they take away everything. Think about South Beach.
Right.
Think about spring break. Like,
right.
That's taken away. First it was Freaknik, then it was South Beach. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because, I'm sorry, not South Beach, Spring Break.
Spring Break, right.
You know what I'm saying? And then
but even they took Freaknik before we got to be adults, bro. That was, I can't believe they took away Freaknik before we got to
you talk about you was listening to D'Angelo, you probably was at Freaknik, you little freak. I don't know.
Listen, man. Listen. All of
you missed it. I don't know, bro.
Listen, man. Voodoo is a classic album.
Yeah.
And I listen to that.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just trying to figure out, when did you listen to it?
Bro, I listen to a lot of old music, man. I was a bit of a BT baby. I loved just watching music videos, man. And then even when, was it so much like 106 in Park, but it was or like MTV Jams, like you would see his music pop up. Like and then I was also one of those kids who stayed up late at night and watched a lot of like BET Uncut. He never really had music on BET Uncut. I'm just kind of giving you like my background into like how such an avid like consumer of music. So Go ahead. Continue.
No. I'm done, man. Yeah, listen, consumers being controlled by the market, bro, and that's basically what I had to say. But yeah, shout out to D'Angelo, his family. You know that it's definitely a tragic situation. Steph needs to be honest when he really listened to D'Angelo.
Oh
I
my
still think he's
god!
not being
Oh
honest.
my gosh!
But
Listen, man.
Yeah, bro.
So if I bring up Sam Cooke, you go tell me you've never listened. I listen to a lot. I listen to Donny Hathaway.
But there's a time period where you probably listen. Like if I listen to Sam Cooke, I know that I went to a school that made us listen. I had a music class that made us listen to people like Sam Cooke and some of the black artists.
Bro, are you doubting my soul just because my mom's making my dad's behaving?
I'm not doubting your soul. I'm not doubting your soul. I'm just trying to say. All I'm trying to say,
like, all you knew was Capleton.
D'Angelo at the time, 2000, maybe 2003, right? You said 91, 2003. You was 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard D'Angelo, but so there's no way he touched your soul at 12.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna act like I understood the music fully.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But I heard the songs.
He's a legend. I get you.
You get what I'm saying? Like I heard those songs, and then like. You know, that's the beauty of like as you mature, like, hey, listen, youngins out there, hope you get to unk age, like as you mature, you know what I'm saying? As you mature and you grow and you like, oh, I understand this music and I appreciate it even more. So like I was definitely listening to D'Angelo more later in life. But when I was a kid, for sure, you couldn't not know who he was, even if it was just like a song or two here. But to get back even to the point, like, because we're talking about music, I think music's one of the better examples of where I look at where the market dictated the consumer versus the consumer dictating the market, right? Mm-hmm. The easiest example would probably be like a Drake and Kendrick talk, right? But I'm gonna pivot away from that for a second. I'm gonna use different examples, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about music videos and the importance of it. Now, growing up with TRL and 106 in Park or MTV Jams and just that you know we used to have the Video Music Awards, of course, which is still an MTV thing. We got to see appreciation for really, really dope videos. Like even artists who weren't necessarily like the A1 artists or like I'll call them like B-level, like not as like an insult, but it's like a Busta Rhymes. Like we may not know Busta Rhymes albums by name, like he had like this 5-album run, but we know Busta Rhymes for delivering great singles, amazing visuals, right? Yeah. A little bit similar with Missy Elliott, but I think Missy Elliott has more like classic albums that people probably go to on the low. But Missy Elliott, amazing visuals, amazing music. Aaliyah, same thing. We just had so many amazing. Hey, even Jay-Z, like that Big Pimpin' video. Oh my gosh! Yeah. You talking about when was I listening to that? I was watching that at like 11 years old. Every chance I could get.
Uncut.
Oh man, they had uncut versions.
Nah, you remember the Nelly?
Song? Tip drill. Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, I locked that door, trying to make sure my mom ain't come in at all.
That's the first time I realized you can. They accept credit or debit.
Credit or debit, way before Cash App, way before Cash App. But you get what I'm saying? So you had those videos become cultural moments, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, BET Uncut. So now it got to a point where like the market's like, you know what? Because of pirating and then streaming and all these other factors, we're like, cut the budget for the videos. Yeah. Music videos no longer a thing. Then music videos kind of got reinvented in a way. And this might sound a little bit crazy, but Chief Keef almost reinvented music videos single-handedly. Like when he went viral, just being in his, I believe at the time, like his grandma's house. Yeah. With just a bunch of niggas shirtless, dreads, pointing guns at the camera, jumping up and down, you know what I'm saying? Like singing Don't Like. And it went completely viral, kicked off the whole drill era. Almost every rapper from the streets then followed suit, where it was just like, pick whoever's the best cameraman, get in front of the guns with a bunch of intimidating looking niggas and be like this, bang bang, over and over again. And I mean, some of the visuals, even though, and then it evolved, and then put some ice on there.
But New York people was doing that first. Before.
Who's the first New York artist? So you're saying before Chief Keef?
So, bro, think about Ja Rule, the New York song.
But that was more like they outside on the block. We had seen that before. Like, there's not that much difference between like that and like Jay-Z's Where I'm From.
Okay, but you're saying like the music videos where you had a whole bunch of, you have intimidating people, like that's just known, like, you know, DMX would have some videos like that, like that was something.
That was Riders, bro. I'm talking about literally, bro. This music video is shot in like the space of the studio. I'm talking about like literally like at the crib. Like when Chief Keef did Don't Like, it wasn't like they outside, and then you see like you said, Rough Riders. You know, everyone knows Rough Riders anthem. You see everybody on the four wheelers.
The studio. What do you think New York apartment size is?
I mean, what y'all don't got like big apartments in the Upper East Side.
What
Like
you say, Chief Keef was in the studio.
But I mean,
I know.
But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. But they was like outside. They was showing the projects. There was on four wheelers. If you're looking at the Rough Riders, you know what I'm saying. Like these, like Chief Keef didn't have none of that. Them niggas look like they had an iPhone and a bunch of niggas.
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Just in a room. There was no like crazy director cuts, no nothing. There was no actors walking up and down the street. There was just them niggas in a room. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we got that for like the last, Chief Keef came out, what, like 2013?
Yeah.
So let's call it 12 years, right? Where it evolved a little bit. Then it went from them just being short and just like a bunch of iced out Cuban links, and you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth.
It's more of his marketing. I think I think it's Chief Keef's marketing of that type of situation rather than him being the first to do something. And I think that's basically what it is. Just like, you know, how Soulja Boy says, I'm the first to do stuff. I think it's more, Soulja Boy is more of the first person to market it in that type of way. Maybe. For people to feel like, oh, that's actually fire, or whatever the case is. Chief Keef, he's definitely a GOAT in that aspect. But
right.
I just feel like, you know, he's a great. He's think about it. Like what you're saying right now is he had a phone. He brought kind of originality to a situation people have never seen before, and he's marketing something that people have never seen before, right?
Right.
And the way he's doing it makes people feel like, oh, this is raw, this is street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not that nobody's done it before, but nobody's ever marketed it that type of way.
Okay. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what he's a genius for. So I'll give him more credit of not being a genius in music videos, but more of a genius in marketing.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I'll give Chief Keef that. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that, because but my thing, I'm not even trying to like say like he did like a super genius thing. I thought that the little nigga was just on house arrest and couldn't leave. So it's like shooting a video inside here, and it felt raw and organic. But it got to a point where like the market became so oversaturated with that. And my thing is, oftentimes, right, what you see happen is when something looks too simplistic, it leads to everybody doing it. Now it almost takes like the genius out of the simplicity because it's oversaturated. You know what I mean? And I think that even led into like how music's constructed. So like we're used to getting 3 minute, 30 seconds, maybe even 4 minutes. If you want to go real old school, some of them Luther songs were like 9 minutes, you know what I'm saying, 6 minutes. Some of the oldies from like the OJs and the Isley Brothers might have been like 9 minute songs, right? Music became like a 2 minute and 30 second, a minute and a half type thing where like, it's like, okay, cool. Like a short song could be dope, but then everybody started doing short songs. So much to the point where it started to limit the like artisticness of, or the artistic capability of the song. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yo, bro, I swear sometimes I'll be listening to songs like Father Stretch Arm when Kanye made that song. I was like, why isn't this song at least 4 or 5 minutes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some songs, bro, that I'd be like, why? Because, for instance, I love songs, especially the old school songs, that they know how to play the beat into what the person's saying. And then you can listen to the beat, you know, harmonize that a little bit, and then get a feeling of what the person's saying, and then it goes back into the. I love how they mix them and match with that.
Bridges and R&B songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just had that like that crooning at the end of the track. He just humming or singing. Like Kid Cudi was notorious for that. You know what I'm saying? You might just hear Kid Cudi hum for like 30 seconds and you just been there like, you know what I'm saying? Like little things like that made it a choice. And it's like, so to kind of bring it to my point now where I say, when you try to have, especially for like the younger demographic, because mind you, being in my early 30s, it's like,
damn.
Hey, listen, man. It's either you dead or you alive, baby.
I'm talking like I'm not around the same age.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're only like a year and a half younger than me, dog. You're my peer, dog.
You know what I mean?
But it's like, you know, I be thinking about the next generation, like, dang, are they ever going to have that sense of, oh, this is what like artistic greatness looks like versus here's this very standardized, this is the formula.
Yeah, but the definitions change, right? So, for instance, that's your definition of it, right? Just like our definition of certain things is changed from people back before, right? So, it's like you're like, are they gonna know this type of way of art? You don't think that people back then, like in the '60s, when they was making that music, like I hope they know this type of way, this type of art, and then we're over here doing this type of rap music and things of that nature that they probably don't agree with to an extent. You know what I mean? Like it's like the definition turns each time, and it's like we gotta accept it.
So here would be my counter argument to that. Things change, mind you. Like I love a lot of the new artists, right? Like I'm not even trying to argue that like music should sound away. Like I think a lot of times, like especially when the hip hop generation and like the generation before, let's say the disco generation, before when that handoff was happening, hip hop was so new. It's like they couldn't even really comprehend it. They didn't call it music for a long time. Mind you, hip hop is built off of everything prior to. Hip hop is built off gospel. It's built off disco. It's built off funk and jazz and all these. You know, it's a culmination of our Black ancestral music all in one. You know what I mean? That's why you can find all those elements in hip hop. Now, the sound and the genre is completely different, but what I'll argue that is the same, and for the most part, is the like artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Like how they chose to go about making the music. And I think over time, that's why you saw like a lot of older artists who are still, you know, with us today, working with hip hop artists who maybe prior to they didn't get it, but it's like, oh, there's actually genius behind that. And not only is there genius behind that, but, you know, we were speaking on D'Angelo. I wanted to make this point to go check out the Sly Stone documentary that's on Hulu. D'Angelo makes an appearance in that movie along with guys like Q-Tip and, once again, different genres of R&B, soul, and hip-hop, linking a rock legend like Sly Stone and bringing his music current. Yeah. And a lot of, like, even for me, like, I learned a lot watching that doc because I'm like, dang, I heard that beat before. I've heard that drum before. I've heard that guitar. I've heard this sample. I didn't know that was coming from Sly Stone. So hip-hop gave a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a rebirth to a lot of older audiences, right? Yeah. I'm arguing that now it's not even like, you know, we're begging for a bunch of samples and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, I think the artistic integrity has been lowered so much, and that's why you can probably think to yourself a good 4 to 5 like artists who sound almost exactly the same. Like they fit this mold, they stay in this mold, and like that's the mold. And it gets to a point where like you try to have like a music talk, like I don't want to say younger generation, but even people who aren't as music savvy, where it's like, okay, here's something like different. Here's a form in the song. It's like, oh, it's too long. And it's like, that's the complaint about the song. You're not talking about like the lyrical capability of the song. You're not talking about the structure of the song. You're not talking about the song is too long. So it's like, once again, market or consumer, it's like they're almost training you to have your attention span be shrunk so that you can't enjoy a 3-minute and 30-second song.
No.
You get what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. And you kind of see that even in movies like wasn't a great movie, but I saw that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I think it was Another War or Another Battle or something like that with Tiana Taylor. Did you hear about it?
No, I didn't see that movie. I seen him. That was a good movie.
Oh, you liked it? I heard mixed reviews. I heard some people say it was okay. I heard some people say it was
So him is very very interesting, right? Because it's like, well, number one, you got to see Marlon Wayne in like a different light, which was pretty dope. But it's had a lot of deeper meaning behind it, and like for instance, the main character, right? He it's like he's going through a whole mental battle. Right, that's what it seems like most of the time. Like he's doing the physical things, but you can just see how the physicality plays into his mental, his thought process, and how he makes his decisions. Right.
Right.
And then you have somebody that's like a mentor, like Marlon in that movie, right? And you can see he's based off of the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything is dictated off of that. The craziest thing about this, bro, did you see it?
Nah.
So I don't want to.
I
don't want to spoil
don't
it.
spoil
But
it. I think I'm gonna check it out because, but I do get where you're coming from because I've heard reviews about it without getting too spoilery.
But it gets a little like, it. How can I say it? At the, you'll see it. But at the end of the movie, right? He makes a choice, basically, to not sign with them. Right. And I feel like at that point when he doesn't, that's the part that could be reality. The part that becomes unreality is basically him like diminishing all those different things around him. So I'm trying to say it without saying it, but
right.
Like, because like he diminishes everything around. Like like for instance, when you say no to something in this life, right, and you're actually supposed to do it, things don't happen where you could just dismantle everything around you after you saying no. Like things happen. Like you get blackballed. People not gonna work with you. You get what I'm saying? And that decision you make, that as a moral decision that helps you morally, other people are going to despise you for it and look at you and take advantage of the fact that you didn't take advantage. Oh, well, we have another quarterback that said you didn't want to do. So that there's a part of it that makes you want to inside be like, you know what, I want to make that decision, but it's a part of it is like it's not real, because if you make that decision for the best of you, usually you got to pay for it.
Exactly, and like they say, every action has a reaction, right?
And
so it's like this, like.
I
don't know what I told you, bro. You be trying to rap.
That's
dog.
Hov. That's Hov.
No, it is. It is.
That's Hov. That's
Hov. You see, bring it. You see, look at that, bro. When the last time you did that one with the new niggas? Nah, let me stop playing with the new niggas. The new niggas is nice too. Like there's a lot of new great rappers too. The melodic ones, the rapidy rap ones.
Nah, but you know what it is too, bro. It's the like for instance, like, bro, the rappers that I would listen to is they're not popping. You get what I'm saying? Like I have this rapper. His name's Caliente. Fire. But because he's not mainstream or whatever, not getting like that people not gonna keep putting out music. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't, as a fan, you don't get to hear that music that you want to hear.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But the music that's really fire, bro. Come on, you said last week we talked about Benny the Butcher and what he was specifically talking about.
Right.
Like the music that we and it's like, bro, is it harsh for me really to sit here and accept the music that I have to hear? Not saying it's that bad, but it's just like that's not my, certain things. It's like if I remember last week I was like, yo, bro, it's reality. We just gotta live with it. This is what it is. Like, isn't you don't think it's kind of like harsh at that point for us to really have to take this?
It is, but and I guess even beyond the music, because I feel like this is one of those things where it's like we talk about harsh realities a lot. Like we were talking about. I'm forgetting the young gentleman's last name, Lacey, who passed away. Kyron.
Yeah.
Kyron Lacey. We were talking about his harsh reality, right? So like once again, like the market versus the consumer, right? Like you're taught that democracy, the power is in the people, but oftentimes they don't tell you which people, what group of people. oftentimes that power that they speak of, like as you get older, as a black man and a black woman in America, you realize like it's not meant for y'all people really. It's meant for other people. Like the power is really in them. So like even when we show up in numbers, just based off the percentages, you really don't have a lot of power. There's only but so much you can do. Like you're really limited in this matrix, right?
Yo, bro, you know what's something crazy? I really think, bro, you know, I may be wrong, but I just want to state this, right? I really think, you know, when it comes to racism, it's like, of course, we all know racism, it generates business. You know, it's obvious, you know what I mean? The certain products we use, you know what I mean? Of course, it's not directly doing it, but indirectly, it does promote,
Right.
you know, that type of racism and certain things in that nature, right? I do think racism is like a market in certain ways, right?
It's a lot of marketing.
Because I feel like at a time period, bro, like for instance, like when I think it was when Biden was about to become president, and that's when they started showing more black people getting arrested, and that's when that black, you know what I mean? You know, they started marketing more of the, you know, black people. But it was we had they had the nonprofit that got caught stealing. What is it called?
The Black Lives Matter movement?
Black Lives Matter movement. They had the Black Lives Matter movement, right? They had that. This presidency, I didn't see. Meanwhile, things was happening. Like, you know, well, people was getting pulled out of cars and things like that, but it wasn't marketed as much.
So that remember we so behind the scenes we were talking about having a propaganda talk, right? And we're trying to figure out how to have that nuanced talk. And this is kind of like what I mean, where it's like things are still happening, right? During COVID, like to your point, there's so much currency in our emotions, in our reactions, in what we click on, the websites we look at, and whether you're right, left, middle, up, down, whatever the case may be, somebody on some side is going to try to capitalize off of that, right?
Facts.
So there's a few things happen, like, you know, you heard about some corruption with Black Lives Matter. It's like as it evolved into an organization more so than just a saying where whoever was at the top of it was kind of like taking money and using it for their own purposes.
Yeah, but
and that kind of, I think, led a lot of people to, I don't want to say like not support the idea of Black Lives Matter, but like the organization. So then, you know, coming into the election that we even had this year, where that was kind of like yesteryear's rage bait, you know what I mean? It's like the rage bait now is going to be, you know, MAGA, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but not to my original point, like where racism I feel like is like a market, right? And like I said, I could be wrong. And it's like now, right? The market is more on Spanish people or immigrants, right? Where now I'm not saying it's being marketed to us, but that's what I'm seeing more, right? And the different trials and tribulations they're going through right now, right. And it seems, and you know, so you know, I just want to say that, you know, it just seems like sometimes, of course, I know things are, you know, racism, us being black, we experience it, right? Yo, I was into the store today, right? I went to go pump some gas, right, bro? So I go into the store, or whatever the case is. I tell the lady, I say, hey, like, give me 30 on pump 9. She gives me 30 on pump 9. I go out. I realize, I'm like, oh, man, I got to go to a different pump because that one wasn't working. So I cancel, I go to another pump. There's a dude sitting right next to me, right? Just another black dude, happens to have hair. You get what I'm saying? Old lady pulls into that gas pump. I go to the other gas pump, and she's like, excuse me, sir, is there something wrong with this gas pump I'm getting on? I'm like, nah, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. It should be fine. She's like, because I just seen you over here, and you just left. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't, because if there's something wrong, I want to know. I'm like, ma'am, I don't think anything's wrong with your pump. And in my mind, I'm like, I wasn't just over there. Ma'am, I'm over here. I'm going over to this, but the only reason I'm moving is because I'm going to this one. So she thought that when the other dude left,
it's like they both got braids.
And then I actually drove my car around. She, for some reason, she thought that I just came back or something of that nature. Anyway, bro, the point of what I was saying is that the fact that can be considered racist.
No, it definitely could.
Right? But the thing about it is, I know that like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you in that aspect, and I think about it like this:
Because
some people can't help it.
Yeah.
You know, some people can't help it.
Yeah,
and it's just like even when you have black people sometimes, right? They get in situations and things happen. You get what I'm saying, and they start going off on white people. You get what I'm saying? There's some things you just realize, you know what? They can't help it.
They really can't.
And I think that all of us have that.
Bro, that story you just told reminded me of the Dave Chappelle joke. He's like, be on the lookout for African American male between height of 5'2" and 7'1".
Everybody go to jail.
Everybody go to jail. This nigga look like everybody.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, bro, it is marketing, and that's kind of like, you know, all these things kind of tie in between the propaganda and, like, you know, whatever targets next, whatever thing they're gonna push next. It's the market once again, like dictating the consumer, versus the consumer like dictating the market. You know what I mean? Even as it stands with our politics and like how we try to choose leadership, you know. It makes you think, is there, once again, for future generations, is there going to be a point where like the consumer really has as much say so as they should? Because at the end of the day, bro, when you look at your checks, someone's hands is in it. And very rarely does it seem like our money is going to serve us, right? So I just be wanting people to have like a conscious outlook on like how they're being marketed to, because that goes into your point about the propaganda, where it's like, what is it that they're going to push next? What agenda is it? How they're going to go about doing it? Are people like sharp enough to know when they're being marketed to, how they're being marketed to? Because that is propaganda, is to get someone to believe something, buy something, or do something. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I appreciate you having that conversation with me, bro. This isn't recent news as in this week, but like we were talking about Chief Keef in our last topic. Yeah. One of my favorite rappers, Lil Durk, is currently awaiting a trial for his murder for hire case. And there was like, I saw it like on a Google News type of thing, where he allegedly got caught with an Apple Watch in jail and tried to destroy it. Now, whether or not that's true, we don't know yet. Whether or not he's guilty of the alleged crimes, we don't know yet. But I would say, bro, I found myself just thinking about it, because I haven't been listening to Durk for the last 10 plus years. The situation just made me feel sad, because if you follow the story on, like, you know, GD versus BD, you know, FBG versus O Block, and all these things that come through the movies, all the people who passed away, like from Newski to Durk's older brother, it feels like this cycle of violence, right? And one of the reasons why I love Kendrick's Heart Part 5 so much is because he's speaking about that cycle of violence, and then going back even further into the music thing, where it's like we've lost so much different artists to violence, like a Young Dolph, like a Nipsey, two of my favorites who passed away the last, well, Nipsey's been gone, 6 years now?
6 years, 2019.
Right.
2019, is around that time. Yeah.
About 6 years now. It don't even feel that long ago, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like time really just be moving. Young Dolph passed away about going on 5 years now.
Yeah, he playing his years test. I don't know. They died, bro. Yeah. It's sad,
bro. It still be in my mind. Yeah. You know, and I was just thinking, I'm like, we had to talk about how do we try to train ourselves, train future generations not to panic in certain situations, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, do you think we spend enough time teaching them how to forgive? Especially when you might be coming from environments where...
Well, we got YNs, right? So I don't think they train to forgive. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like,
we got to get the young niggas to forgive too, bro. Like, they're probably the ones that are gonna need it the most. They're probably the generation that might even need to hear this
Yeah,
segment of the
well,
podcast the most.
this generation is the generation that probably is a little bit more in tune with their emotions than previous generations, right?
Okay.
And their response to a lot of things, you get what I'm saying, is not to forgive, right?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people have to learn to forgive also.
Right.
It's a process to even forgive somebody, especially when you have emotions evoked based off things that happen to you.
Right.
So with these YNs now, you get what I'm saying, they're more in tune with their emotions, and they're like, listen, I'm not going to go ahead and live in fear. I'm not going to go ahead and live with this type of thought process. I'm going to respond, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're more of, this happens, I'm going to respond. They may shoot your, or they respond in certain ways that our past generations, right? We have to learn to forgive, right? And then we also start resenting things more. You get what I'm saying? Because we haven't still made the decision. You get what I'm saying? Honestly, bro, actually, I wanted to hear what you was about to say, because you was about to say something.
So for me, I can't speak to a whole generation, right? But I would want to ask, like, do you think they're more in tune with their emotion, or they're just a lot more emotional?
That's a great question. Well, I'll say this: a lot more kids are in therapy. A lot more people.
Okay.
A lot more kids are in therapy, or
Because
I think that they're. This is what I do. I do think that they're more emotional, and I think they're a little bit. I think they are more in tuned also.
okay.
Right. I do think that with that power of being in tune with your emotion, you have the right to ignore it, or to actually, ignore it or play into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that at their young age, they're a little bit immature, and with them being conscious enough to make that decision, they kind of choose the other way.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I do think because of social media, even because of a lot of like we were talking about the rappers earlier, I think some of the things that the rappers now are doing are constantly talking about their emotions, right? And you do hear the theme of therapy pop up a lot of music, right? As it pertains to like the younger generation who might be living a certain lifestyle, or might, be fighting a lot of emotions that come from traumas of losing to somebody to violence, or feeling like if you don't get your get back, you know the slangs that's used now, get back, up the score, all that shit, you know what I mean? That's so heavily like perpetrated through the music, and then you're seeing in real time a lot of these artists land in dead or jail, right? And there's so many like aspects to look at that aspect of forgiveness from, right? Like, if you're a person who follows Christianity in any type of way, like forgiveness is a big part of that. And it's not for like the person you're forgiving, but for yourself, right? Like to relieve yourself of that burden, so that it doesn't build resentment, so that it doesn't lead to you trying to take on vengeance. Like, they say like, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Like, we are not supposed to act on your anger. You can feel angry. Like, anger is a part of our everyday human emotions. Like, even God feels angry, but how you act on your emotions dictates a lot more than what than anything else, right? I want to read a quote from one of my favorite, not even just my favorite, bro. I'm going to just go out there and say this is probably the best work of fiction of all time, right? From a manga called Berserk. Now, some of y'all out there, I'm not going to anime y'all out, right? I ain't gonna manga y'all out, but this quote always stuck to me when I first read this. It's like, the hard thing about hatred is the place where people who can't look sorrow in the eye without wavering run off to, right? And a lot of that rang true to me. Was like, when you're talking about forgiveness, a lot of the times when people are reacting like the opposite of it and wanting to live in hatred or wanting to, extract revenge, it comes from a place because they can't deal with the sadness that they feel. Would you agree, or you think that the statement's a little bit obtuse?
I think everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
I think that to generalize, like how somebody responds to something, because everybody has a different reason to respond to certain things. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So I just think it's different for different people.
And it is, and it's not to say that like I want everybody to be the same, but just to talk about,
Like, and not to cut you off, but
Mhm.
like for instance, like you get what I'm saying, like remember, everybody has different morals, everybody has
Mhm.
different standards they live
For
by.
sure.
You get what I'm saying? But if something you talk about the street, somebody in the street, right? They live by a different moral, right? Maybe they
Mhm.
don't go to church every Sunday, but let's
Mhm.
say somebody kills their brother,
Right.
right? And they go ahead and say, "Listen, I forgive you." The person that they forgive is like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this nigga forgave me. I don't get this nigga that's forgiving niggas like, how about I just go? I'm gonna kill his mom now." You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He gonna forgive me, but I'm still get what I want,
Mhm.
right? So you know what I mean? Like I think it's different for different people. If that person is in the thought process, like not in sadness, but more in fear, more in I don't want to live with this over my head, and they feel like if I respond this way, this is how, I can end this problem.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I think everything is forgiving is the thing you want to do, but the world makes it so hard to forgive.
And
So if you sit there with certain situations and not take a little bit more, you take your thought process and look at and be a little bit more aware. Well, I'm dealing with this person, right? And if I go ahead and forgive this person is going to take it as a weakness and they're going to use it against me, right?
Okay.
If I forgive them, I'm letting it go for myself, but I'm not
Okay.
protecting myself for the next time this person is going to come and ask me for the same thing or do this to me again.
Okay, so let's stay on your example, because I think that is a great example, right? Forgiveness doesn't mean lack of consequence, right? And then forgiveness doesn't mean you're not also entitled to protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, right, we got to learn how to like weigh the outcome, like being able to say like, well, if I do this, it'll result in this, or if I do that, it's going to result in that, right? One path is probably, like you said, someone unfortunately killed your brother, right? Say, all right, bet.
I'll kill somebody else, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill his brother, right?
Yeah.
That person's out of the brother. It's like, all right, bet you killed my brother. I'm gonna go ahead and kill your father. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna go kill your sister. And you're playing this tit for tat, this tennis game that has no end, right?
Yeah.
So you wait. Now, in the real world, we know that this is not gonna be like just a free for all. If you have kids, if you have a mother or a father who depend on you, if you go out the way and do something like that, you're probably gonna end up either dead or in jail. Now the consequences are pushed onto your loved ones. Like once we're gone or once we're in jail, truth be told is the burden really ain't on us, the person who died or is gone. It's on our loved ones, right? To find the money for that funeral, to constantly send you stuff, money in jail, to go and visit you, to go and write you, to try to remember. Like it creates a whole nother set of pressures and stress for people who didn't ask for it, right? Now, when you're dealing with somebody who's murdered, and you're as much as people don't like the victim word, victims are innocent. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. Like how you choose to go about doing it, it could just be, okay, I'm going to let the police handle it. I'm not going to take it on myself, because if I do try to take it on myself, what's probably going to happen is it's going to lead to more strife. Like,
So, but what happened if you're one of those people that when you're somebody that handle things hands on, right? Not even talking about you handle things hands on, and the situation, a lot of information about it, and like things can be done, right? And you say, hey, listen, I'm gonna put it in police hands. And now you feel that emotion of that. You feel like you're not taking this situation that probably happened to your family as serious as you should. You get what I'm saying? And that invokes a different type of emotion into you, right? And now you don't really even care about, you know what? I'm going to forgive. I'm going to make sure that the police handle it. You're more worried about the fact that you may, your whole life, you're going to feel like you didn't go ahead and do something about, take care of business, do something about it. I'm not saying that's my recourse. I'm not saying
I know,
should be the general
you're playing
recourse.
devil's advocate.
Exactly. And then I'm also and I'm also saying that I do respect and understand everybody has a different mindset in this world, and how people respond to things that's done to them.
Right.
May not be in my realm of logic, but I'm damn sure that it may be in the realm of somebody else's logic, and it may make perfect sense to them.
Right.
And accepting that.
So
you get what I'm saying, is understanding that forgiveness means totally so many different things to different people.
It could, and and that's why I think this conversation is important, because oftentimes we might make decisions based on what we know, but had we known something else or another option, we may not have made that decision. You know what I mean? So like, you're right, bro. Like, some people really just have like one mindset, and I've met a lot of those people throughout my life. You know what I mean?
Can you really forgive somebody if it comes with stimulations? Like, if you say, hey, listen, I forgive you, but, and I'm making a stupid example, I forgive you, but you have to clean my shoes. Like, if it comes with like a stimulation, like.
So let me ask you your example. So like, I'm the person who wronged you, and you're saying you're gonna forgive me if I.
You kill. Let's say somebody. Let's say there's two people. One person killed their brother.
Okay.
And a person, I'll forgive you if I can kill your mother. Is that when it comes with stimulations, forgiveness? Is it truly forgiveness, or is it?
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. No, forgiveness should not come with a stipulation. What it should come with is a change of behavior. Another anime reference. I doubt we have too much anime people here in the crowd right now, but this is probably one of the ones where it's like, most regular people who aren't even in anime would like this. Like, there's a story called Vinland Saga, right?
Okay.
Which is a story about forgiveness, right? A kid's dad gets murdered. He ends up joining like, I guess I'll call it like an assassin crew. He, does all these heinous things in hopes to try to find the people who killed his dad and get revenge, right? It leads him down this dark path of this murder, PTSD, survivor's remorse, and all types of things. He ends up coming across somebody who he harmed at some point in his life. At this point, he had turned to his life and is like a complete pacifist now. But this person is still seeing him as the monster that inflicted pain on her, right? Mm-hmm. And his thing is, I want to like earn your forgiveness by showing you how much I've changed. And she kind of goes on this journey, and she's like, if I see any semblance of the old you, I'm going to put an arrow in your head. You know what I mean? Just to kind of sum up a long story, that type of thing. And I think that goes into your example where it's like, it's not so much a stipulation, but I think if you are a person who's seeking forgiveness and seeking to right a wrong, it comes with changed behavior. And I think that's why, like, unfortunately, our prison systems don't even, because like you said, forgiveness can come in a lot of different ways for so many different people.
So if I'm a pastor, bro, if I'm a pastor now, and but back in the day, I killed a few people, whatever the case is, and a dude comes into the church and he's like, "Yo, I remember you killed my brother." And do you think? So, for instance, I'm not in the stage for him to forgive me. I want him to look at the situation I'm not in a situation where he's gonna forgive me, right? It's the opposite way around. I'm asking him, hey, listen, I'm a changed man. I'm a pastor now, and I don't do that. I went to church. I did this. I did all the work for myself, and I've changed. And I hope you can see that I've went down this journey to change and see the type of person I am now, and let me pray with you. The person's like, nigga, that has nothing to do with me. You killed my brother. You get what I'm saying? Your change is for you. That doesn't change anything about my life.
It doesn't.
If you want me to go ahead and forgive you for something you did to my brother because of the place that you're in your life, that is selfish.
No, it is. And
you get what I'm saying? And so I look at situations with forgiveness, and you have to really, I feel like the word forgiveness, when it's used in certain aspects, it's kind of, it can be used as a weapon. You get what I'm saying?
It can be.
And I want you, and when there's certain things like forgiveness, it has such a beautiful light, just like a lot of different things. But people use it as a weapon.
I think, like you're saying, like a weapon, like
more,
it's almost like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, if you look at things more where like, hey, listen, bro, you did what you did. I'm not gonna sit here and tell myself I'm gonna go ahead and forgive you and or forgive you for what you did. No, bro, that's who you are. I'm gonna accept who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna learn how to live with who you are.
Right. And
if I forgive you, it's like I'm accepting that. You know what? I forgive you, and I'm hoping you change.
So another great example, right? Let's say like that person is a pastor now. Just because you have changed doesn't mean you avert like the consequences and like being held responsible for your actions, right? So that if, let's just say, he did kill his brother, right, and he never served jail time, and police say it's like, oh, if he was like, oh, but I don't deserve to go to jail because, you know, I've done this, that, and the third, and it's like, nah, bro, you still got to go. Like, there's no statutes of limitation, right? You still got to go pay your debt to society and do 30 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be. Like, that's the thing. It's not to absolve the consequence, right?
That wasn't my example. That was your
no.
You said that the pastor. You changed the story a little bit because I'm talking about something totally different because I forgot what you added there with the pastor.
Oh no, like he was saying, like, you know, like if you like I was saying the accountability part, because like in an example, like you said, because you're right, like if like the guy coming to him doesn't have to like accept him or to say like, well, I'm gonna let it go, or you know what I'm saying, or look at him differently just because he's changed, right? Because the responsibilities for these two people are totally different, right? The responsibility for the young man is to not like exacerbate the situation and make it worse. So like if in that story he walked to the pastor and he shot him dead, right? And now that kid is gonna go to jail, and now his father lost two boys instead of one. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like where the responsibility for you, like, as the person doing the forgiving, why people say it's not so much about the other person, it's really for yourself, so that doesn't like internalize itself into something worse.
So if the kid comes to the pastor and the pastor, he's telling the pastor, he's like, listen, you killed my brother, you get what I'm saying? And the pastor says all that stuff, and he's like, listen, whatever emotion you have, how you change, it has nothing to do with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you think the kid is not going to feel like the dude is manipulating him to give into a situation that is not fitting to his emotion? Because we already know that we know pastor wants them to forgive him. We know that in a way, you know what I mean, it could be selfish, right? At what point do you not think that the kid is not going to think that the dude is manipulating him? Because he thinks that the kid is like, bro, I don't go to church every day. This is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying to me right now is coming more from a situation of what you believe in. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
At what point do you think that kid is not going to feel manipulated?
Well, so that's where communication will come in, right? Let's say that pastor did come to him and was like, I've changed, and he's having an outside. It's like, how can I make reprimands? Do you believe in second chances?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You need to ask the kid that.
Well, the kid does. All right, okay. In the story, does a kid believe in second chances? Is a kid willing to operate from a place of faith as far as like?
Did his brother get a second chance?
No, but
the pastor got a second chance after killing his brother.
No, and that's
but
true.
Did his brother get a second chance? So
no, that's true.
Do you think that kid is going to believe in second chances?
So that's what I'm asking, because some may, some might.
Yeah.
Like if. Because, like I said, just because I can't use real life examples for some of these things, right?
Yeah.
But just having experienced some situations very similar to this, what's done is done, right? There's nothing more permanent than death. We get that,
right?
Like I said, the responsibilities are different. The person seeking forgiveness, his responsibilities are going to be different from the person who's responsibility is to like to quote unquote give forgiveness. I'm putting that in quotes, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your example, because right now we've only been talking from the kid standpoint, right? Let's say he's a young kid. Let's say he's 16, right? Fair enough. Let's say the pastor's now 30. He might have killed his brother when they were both like 22. So the kid's a young kid, you know, and his older brother is gone. There's nothing that in life is ever, like whether he forgives him, doesn't forgive him, nothing like that. Nothing he does is ever going to bring his brother back, and nothing's ever going to make him feel good about his brother being gone. Like, that's just a fact of life, whether forgiveness or not. Like, a lot of us, when we, like, that goes back to the quote, being able to look sorrow in the eye and not waver. It's like being able to accept some of the bad things that's going to happen in our lives.
But that's
right?
a fact you believe.
No, but that's just a thing. Think about it. Think about anybody.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying that's a fact. You're talking about these YNs, and that's a fact that you.
But no,
believe.
but
do you think that's a fact? I'm trying to get you in your mind. What I'm trying to do is talk from a point of view where I'm totally different mindset.
No, I get
I'm
it.
not and I'm trying to get you to understand, like, from the kid's point of view, like, he's not accepting what you're saying. Like, this is how some of these YNs think. Like,
No, and that's why, and that's exactly why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Because
like,
check this out, right? Check this out. Like, real talk. Let's say these kids. Let's say in your story, the kid's like, forget all that. Bang, guy's gone. Right? Do you think he goes, I feel great? Or do you think that trauma just exacerbated itself 10 times over?
It depends. I wouldn't know. You get what I'm saying? It really depends on the situation. That's why this story is great for generalization.
Right,
context
right,
out there,
right.
I'll probably give more context. Probably like, I don't know. Let's say the kid really felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
He killed him, but he gets away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's say
nobody knows
that's
he has
what I'm
this
saying.
pent up anger.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm
let's.
saying? And he has this pent up anger. He had his conversation with the pastor. You know what I'm saying? Ends up killing the pastor, whatever the case is. You're saying, do you think afterwards he's gonna feel like? Honestly, I think that afterwards he may or may not. He's gonna feel a way based off him getting caught, and deep inside he may feel, iffy about the fact that he did it, but it's gonna conflict with the fact that the other dude killed his brother. So I don't think there's ever gonna be a point with him killing that dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I think.
I get.
That it's
No, I
gonna
get you.
overlap of what the dude did to his brother.
Okay.
I think that's both of those two things are gonna play on him as much, and I feel like it's not gonna be like, oh, he killed him. I did good. I feel better. Or it's not gonna be like, damn, I can't believe I killed him. But him battling with that thought of what the dude did to his brother it's gonna conflict, or it's going to, I don't know, help or make it worse. You get what I'm saying? So it's really dependent on that particular person.
So like that in this story, in this specific example, like, because once again, not to drop, because it could lead to him having, like, what I'm saying is that's more than likely, at least from things that I've kind of witnessed. What ends up happening more times than not is you've exacerbated the situation. So like, okay, you listen to a moment of flesh where it's like, bang, I wanted that satisfaction. It turned out the thing you thought was going to satisfy you didn't, and now you're having these traumas from doing that. And now you're leading into depression, and then you can lead into self-medication with drugs, and then that leads you down to a whole nother spiral. So like, what I'm saying is, right, situations in life are going to be bad, but like my stock mentor told me, if you ever have to ask yourself how much lower can a stock go, it can always get lower. And there's sometimes in situations in life where you be thinking like, yo, this is a bad situation, and you be thinking this is rock bottom, and the whole floor cave out underneath you, and you end up in this thing that you couldn't even predict. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, even for me, like looking at that kid in that example, it was like, yo, let me help you. Let this be the floor. You can still climb out this floor. Mm-hmm. There could be a floor underneath here that you can't climb out here, youngin'. You can drop down there and it's no turning back.
But at what point what you're saying is not like the kid is not going to feel manipulated. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So that goes back into my main point,
like,
right?
Like
so
everything. Now, before you go, like everything you're saying is like right. Like
mm-hmm.
like I feel like that's the perfect, quotes from the '90s movies we watched. that have a young person change, and I feel like that's exactly. I seen the movies.
No, fact.
But
Okay.
I'm talking about. Well, I'm not trying to hear none of that. You're not gonna convince me that to believe in your Lord and Savior and to tell me that you killing my brother, I'm supposed to forgive and I'm supposed to take this emotion. Like, nah.
I'll take it. That's all.
You said get back. You said to get back. All that stuff before, like, with the young things they say now. But
so like my thing is, that's why I was like, I'll take religion out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the examples I use, like from a literary standpoint, was both those stories are actually like revenge stories, right? And like in the first example, like my favorite book of all time, Berserk, there's an analogy where it's like getting revenge is like trying to sharpen a sword in blood. When you pull it out, it's going to be rusty. Nothing's going to be left afterwards, right? So it's just about, you can choose what you can choose, right? I'm not trying to tell you what to choose or how to choose it, but I want you to know all your options before you make your choice, right?
So what happened if somebody gets you fired from your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you can find a way to get them fired from their job. That's considered revenge, right?
Definitely
Right?
could.
You don't think that person who got you don't think that person gonna feel sad?
Let me ask you, like, how much they get? How much you know? That's a little. You see, but that's a different situation. So that's a little.
I know we're going killer to killer.
Yeah, no.
Let's just talk about real life and the real stuff.
Okay.
Before it gets to that killing part.
Okay, someone ratted you out because you ain't clock in. This is like your fifth time being late.
So you like this. Oh, you're like, oh, watch when they come in late. I'm gonna go. Make sure they go.
Okay.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you this right now, right? Revenge, just like you said, anger.
Right.
See, it's not all bad.
It's not.
So we can't teach the kid. We're trying to teach the kids to just purely forgive based off of certain things that may revolve around revenge.
I say you can't be a little petty.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say now.
But because we're going from two drastic situations. Because I think we've talked our way out that first situation. Now, if someone gets you fired from your job because they ratting and you was a little late, I ain't gonna tell you not to report them on Facebook or something. send if they to screen record, send it to their boss.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, like,
listen.
revenge,
I ain't beyond being a little bit petty.
Listen,
I sound like a hypocrite.
Hold on.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, if I go like this, it's like, you know what? Forget the killing part. The kid came into the church.
Okay.
You stole my socks. No, not stocks. You stole my stocks. That's what I'm saying. You stole my stocks. You stole my crypto. You stole my stocks. Whatever. Okay. And the dude's like, that was me a long time ago. I don't steal stocks no more.
All right, man, youngin, go get that out the offering plate, dog. Like, go get that out. Go get that out.
I'm not playing with you. I want my stock. He's getting his revenge. He takes his stocks. No context, but he takes his stocks the same way he takes his. You think that kid's gonna feel sorrow?
See, if I was a kid,
we're living in this revenge world that we have to accept all the different examples of revenge.
Yeah.
And just because revenge extremes sometimes may get a little too extreme, we can't be saying, hey, listen, when it gets too extreme, we have to live with the thought process of forgiving.
Listen, man.
When it's not too extreme, I guess that satisfaction, is beautiful.
Bro, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna end this with a quote and an example, right?
Okay.
Malice once said, "I will greet you with the love of God, but that don't make us friends." If I'm that kid, in this second example, like you said, he stole the crypto, bet. What I'm gonna do is get some more crypto, save my money. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna buy your church, I'm gonna forgive you, but you now the janitor. I own this now. Go clean the toilet. More like punishment. That's punishment. That's punishment. Like I said, accountability.
That's
accountability.
You cannot
that's accountability.
Do that.
No, that's accountability.
I said I was gonna get you to turn
I said it's not about
revenge,
not being held accountable. You can. It doesn't absolve them of.
No, it doesn't. Any way you do it, it's revenge.
Nah. It's
revenge.
Good justice.
And then after he's the janitor, he goes, "I forgive you."
No, after he's a janitor, you're gonna tell him you missed a spot.
Yeah, you petty. Oh man, see, this is how they get around being petty and saying, "Yeah, I forgave him for this." I mean, it's because look, listen.
He get paid.
Listen. In your mental, what you create in your mental, right? as far as what's good, what's bad, what you forgive, what makes you feel good about what you forgive is different for everybody. There's no generalizing forgiving or any of those things because everybody's different. So you're looking at somebody's self situation and you're like, damn, that dude was crazy, blah, blah. Yeah, he's crazy because I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know his logic. I don't know why he did what he did, and it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying that he's crazy to generalize. I'm saying he's crazy because I don't know what's going on. But everybody likes to put themselves in a little mental space to be like, this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Me, I do it. Just heard Steph do it. You know what I mean? Everybody does it.
You're right, bro. This is a good talk. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Do you think KD, Russ, and James Harden can ever forgive the Oklahoma City Thunder for blowing up their chances to win a championship together?
I don't think KD gonna forgive.
Man, listen, man.
Because he damn sure ain't forget.
He ain't forget. James Harden ain't forget. Listen, Starting Five, I think, is streaming now on Netflix, man. Listen, I don't know why I'm saying y'all names. We're not even a big enough platform to get some ad dollars from this. Netflix ain't give us a dime. But Netflix, if you're seeing this,
you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
But yo, let's
throw some money out.
I do want to shout out Asia Wilson though. You know what I mean? Because Asia Wilson, dominance. Tell me about 3 out of 4 years, defensive player, MVP, championship, MVP, dominance. No WNBA or NBA player has done that. I just want to give a shout out to you. I know we talked about WNBA players before and talk about those different things, but when it's pure dominance and you're really that good, you get what I'm saying? You got to give a shout out. So I just want to clap it up for Asia. Because Asia.
Clap it up for Asia.
Be the GOAT.
The GOAT. Hey, man. My Mount Rushmore got two. It's got Maya Moore and Asia Wilson.
Maya Moore and Asia Wilson? Okay.
Maya Moore and Asia. We got to put at least Lisa Leslie. I can't say the only two, but Maya Moore, Lisa Leslie, Asia Wilson. What would be that fourth spot for you? I don't know if my 3 is valid for you or not.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I really do like.
You like Clayton Clark? You want to put her in there?
No, I like Sue Bird. I like Sue Bird.
Okay, no, I'm not mad at Sue.
I like Sue Bird's game. Sue Bird is nice. I also like, honestly, it's so funny, bro. I know she wasn't as big, but I did like Dawn. Dawn Stanley, especially when I was younger too, and I seen her in Martin, and she was playing. They was beating them. It was I think it was her. It was Lisa Leslie.
Yeah, I know that's a classic episode.
Cooper,
bro. See, that's what I mean. We talking. Shout out to Cooper, just real quick, because that's what I mean when I'm talking about like the market versus the consumer. Why don't we got no good sitcoms like that? What happened, man?
Well, how come? Think about this. That was the 90s. They were in
golden era.
They had the USA uniforms. They was in Martin.
Fire.
We don't see nothing like that now.
Nope.
But we did see some WNBA players. I think they went on some streams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the way they would,
this is different. But keep shining out. No, listen, another great WNBA season. We want to highlight and shout out those women. Asia Wilson, phenomenal. I mean, what is it? The Aces won 3 out of the last 4 years.
4 dominance. So what would you say, bro? Would you say they saying some more like Jordan? I would say she's more like Tim Duncan right now, and she can get to Jordan.
I'm not mad at Tim Duncan. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like especially because she's a power forward.
Yeah,
I'm not mad. I'm not. Yeah, fundamentals on point. She things are underrated about her. Like the way she sets screens, the way she can pop, she can roll.
Yes,
she very good footwork.
And a great leader.
Great leader. And listen, man, great shoes. Great shoes. Very marketable. I love the relationship with her and Bam. They're like, real life loving basketball. I love the campaign Nike has put behind her.
Sneakers is fire too.
Sneakers is hard.
Fire, yeah.
Them sneakers is hard. Them sneakers is definitely hard, yo. Like, honestly, I might have to go pick up a pair. I don't know if they got a 14.
Her and Sabrina's.
Sabrina's cold too. Sabrina's definitely cold. It's a lot. Listen,
wait for Caitlin's.
It's been a great. You know what though? Caitlin got some cold Kobe PEs. I almost I was like, I don't even know. Like, do you need those? You can't just
her PEs
because like you can. You know what I'm saying? Like these Kobe PEs is gas, man. Yeah. But yeah, bro. Asia ain't got to forgive nobody. The whole league gonna be seeking revenge on her though. The whole league gonna be is on notice
but who
coming.
Stop her? Who going like who could
Only
you,
Jay-Z and Kanye.
Yeah, bro. I really
Who can't
the
stop
only
her?
thing person I could say bro, I don't know. Honestly, the Fever, they were real good this year. They was all injured. Everybody was injured on their team, and they still made it far. I will look out for them. So, Asia, you gotta look out for the Fever because the Fever, they got a squad, not just Caitlyn, but they got a squad.
Even listen, and Angel Reese, just not for nothing, she ain't win a championship, but that runway.
I'm married.
Susan, facts.
I'm married.
Insane. We're just shouting out great marketing because you brought up the marketing. You brought up the marketing.
I'm
you
married.
did bring up the marketing. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm only highlighting marketing. I'm married. Oh, maybe soon to be married. I ain't married yet. I ain't got a ring on yet, but maybe soon to be.
Angela Reese.
And shout out to you too.
Good job on the court.
Hey man. If we have anything else for the people, bro? Any topics you want to get to? Any?
Hey, yo, bro, I did. Before we dip, you know what I mean. I just want to give a shout out to Shallow.
Okay.
Yo, dude is he needs to have his own TV show, bro. I'm like, all he needs to have his own TV show. He needs to just stream because this dude is funny and he makes the light on the situation that's going on with Shador. Right?
You got to.
Like I seen recently, he dressed up as Shador, went to his game, gave his brother a couple laughs, asked his mom and said, "Yo, mom, if they said they'll put Shador into the game, you and dad just have to sit together. Would y'all do it?" They said, "Son, you're never getting in." Like he brings light to the situation, which people are looking at Shador a little bit more. He's too serious.
Right.
He thinks he's too cocky. You get what I'm saying? He even let a little kid ask him a question. And made fun of the little kid. He asked him, "Are you mad because you didn't get in?" And they just laughed about it.
Yeah.
Like he's bringing more light around his brother. And I just want to shout him out because it's like a lot of brothers out there. You need to take note of that because you need to support your brother. Even though he could have been in the NFL, he's not. And the first thing he's doing is supporting his brother. So shout out to Shallow. You're a real one. And and they pops, Deion Sanders, he's a real one too.
Shout out to Deion.
Because he raised those brothers right.
Deion, oh my God, bro.
Facts.
I'm glad you said Deion. Deion, look at me. Am I looking at the camera? Am I looking at you? Can you see me? Please come back to Florida State. I'm begging you, come back to FSU. You are a Florida boy, homegrown talent. We need you. All right? I was told on our last episode, I didn't realize I didn't really apologize. So before we end, I'm going to apologize, University of Miami, for talking all that smack. And then we got smacked down. I'm not going to bring up the 19-0 run, right? Because my apology might have went a little bit left. My pride, sometimes pride is a funny thing. It sneaks in when you don't expect it. And somehow I found myself like actually.
You lost.
We lost. But then somehow in the last episode, because in the last episode I realized, oh wait, I never actually apologized. Because somehow it led into me talking about meeting y'all in the ACC championship. That's not gonna happen. We just lost 3 games in a row. Deion, come home, please.
And Florida State pay him. If he come home, pay.
We got the money. They got money.
Well, they need to give Deion that money.
Give Deion some money.
Mañana.
They ain't got more money than Buffalo, Colorado. Deion, leave Colorado, nigga. Come home. Come to a high major. You know what the fuck is going on? You know what's happening?
This bro's going through surgery right now. You think he worried about that?
Deion, we got great.
And get well, Deion.
There's great doctors in Tallahassee, bro.
Yeah, they do have the best doctors in Florida. Yeah.
Okay, they got really good doctors in Florida.
I don't know about up north, but
great. I mean, there's some things that's a little bit right now,
down south,
but yeah. Don't. Football season has caused me a lot of pain.
What about the U? You wouldn't like him at the U? Or am I just saying something that shouldn't be said? All right, I'll just be quiet.
Listen, man. The U, I'm sorry. Y'all are great. I hope you guys win it all this year. Sincerely, I'm not a hater. Y'all go do your thing. Y'all are undefeated. Handle business. That's all I'm gonna say. And good luck to the U. I hope that's a satisfactory response. Because, you know, it's frustrating as podcasters. Like when we say something that's so blatantly wrong and then we don't be held accountable and we never address it. So I'm addressing that to y'all. You know, Dion, look at me, come back. And I think we're going to end on that. I was going to talk about the Dolphins, but I'm not even going to. I don't need nobody out there getting mad.
Nobody needs to go through that.
No one needs to go through that.
Not even me as a great Knicks fan. I don't even need to go through that.
Come back. All right. Listen, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. This is everything. This has been episode 8. I hope you guys enjoyed these topics. You know, please continue to let us know. Like, is anybody out there forgiven? Am I forgiven? UM fans, am I forgiven? Am I forgiven? They should just forgive me. It wasn't that bad. And the University of Coral Gables is not that crazy of a nickname. Anyway, y'all, we're going to catch you on the next one. Peace.
One.